the backcountry style. Searching for treasure yet untold, up and down the creeks for his gold, and it's miner or bust, miner or bust, miner or bust, because it's in his blood and that's what a miner does. Just like the gold rushers of old, who live and died for their gold, with picks, packs, shovels, rifles in hand, up and down the creeks of the backcountry land. It's miner or bust, miner or bust, miner or bust, because it's in his blood and that's what a miner does.
Last time on Miner or Bust, we headed out for a little trout fishing on a few local lakes, which Josh and Brutus really seemed to enjoy. We also finished up on a sample hole which lay deep under a layer of sand, and the old river was proving true and gold.
Yeah, nothing comes easy. Gold prospecting.
We also tried out a new hide anchor I built for Joshua, as well as taking out a young prospector for a trip to the claim.
Pretty nice.
Well, it's time to head into the claim once again. We're coming in a little late, so we can get an early start on a trip up into the canyon for a little underwater sniping. Me and Brutus head down to the creek for a little panning, while Josh gets a fire going. With the sun still in the sky, I just can't help myself but to find a little bit of gold. After panning some of the easy float gold, me and Brutus head back to camp. While Josh has not only got his fire going, he's cleaned out the old shack of any critters. I'm starting to think he has a thing about spiders. With the old shack swept of any webs, Josh and Brutus head to bed, with that one mosquito overhead. Sitting by the fire, listening to the creek through the trees with the moon overhead. As my ears open wide and I sit upright, I'm sure I just heard something in the night. As time passes, staring more and more into the fire, I can tell it's going to be one of those nights. With a moon that appears to be moving slower through the trees. What do I hear? Not a snap, not a crunch, but just as something breathed everything in. Quickly getting up and turning up my lantern, giving him a good talking to.
Go on, get out of here. There's nothing here for you.
As he goes off into the night. Sitting back down by my fire for the night, with that moon ever so bright in the mid-summer night, with that one mosquito overhead. Well, after surviving another night, we get up early and gear up and head into the canyon. I've always enjoyed exploring creeks. Josh, on the other hand, he's still a little sleepy and a little cranky from that mosquito last night. It's almost like the rest of the world doesn't exist, but there's also gold to be found. We just make our way through the canyon and hit little spots that look interesting and have exposed layers of bedrock. Fanning the gravel away on all the low points and depressions. Using a snuffer bottle to pick up any little flakes. And feel your heart rate rise when you fan this little patch of gravel away. I don't know about you, but I was pretty excited to find that. That's gold fever at its best. I sure enjoy exploring these little creeks and finding gold along the way, even though some of us think it's not that big of a deal. Poor Josh didn't have much luck and was having a bad day, so I decided to let him have a little fun. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly what happened there, but I'm sure Josh is a little more worried about himself than my truck right now. Looking back on that now, I probably should have checked his boot for a large nugget. He was in a big rush to get out of there. I think he'll be on the road soon. It kind of scares me. But we all start somewhere, and really, he's just lucky I had such a good day. Well, after taking Josh home, spending some time with the family, me and Brutus pack up and we head right back out. If there's one thing I can count on, it's good old Brutus, as he sits by my side all through the night. With a warm fire and a good dog and thoughts of gold to keep me company through the night.
You know, always in front of the camera. Always. Well, good morning. Just making my coffee here. Me and Brutus are down here by ourselves. Young Joshua there, I guess, had a little too hard of a time hiking through that canyon. Started whining the next day about how sick and tired he was. So, wanted me to leave him just in camp here. Well, I went up in the canyon and did some sniping. I don't think he's quite there yet. So I ended up taking him home. Yeah. I'm just gonna enjoy my morning coffee here. And we'll gear up and then head up that canyon.
Walking through the canyon you can't help but feel like a gold rusher from the past, as this area is just as wild and natural as it was in the days of the gold rush. Other than all the easy bedrock has been cleaned off a long time ago. But there's still some good gold to be had. You just need to get out there and find it. Thousands of years have carved out this canyon, and it's a straight shot down to my camp and where all them old benches are, where I'm pulling good gold out of my sample holes. I hold high hopes for the ground below this canyon. As I said, it took thousands of years and a lot of geological forces to create this landscape. Of course, all them years has also left a fair bit of gold behind. Me and Brutus make our way through the canyon, looking for low points in the exposed bedrock zones. I really don't understand the children these days. When I was a kid, my dad would take me fishing in remote creeks throughout BC, just with a stick and a line. I'd be like, I'm just gonna go up to the next pool, Dad, and he wouldn't see me for the rest of the day, let alone if I knew there was gold on that creek. It's probably a good thing I didn't know there was gold in some of these creeks as a child. I would have been lost to these woods many years ago. As nice as this canyon is, I'm more interested in the valley below and the gold it holds.
Well, so far we've done pretty good sniping. Found a nice nugget, a couple pickers, some nice flake. Yeah, it's time for us to pack up, get on out of here before this big storm hits. Hey, Brutus.
Oh man, that was sure good hiking. It's always hard on a guy's body crawling over boulders, for probably about a mile and a half anyway. All for a little bit of gold. Yeah, I guess I could see why Josh wanted to skip out. I always like to go hit a few spots though. So I've had some pretty good luck up in there once in a while.
It looks like a boot.
Alright, first nugget sniping.
Yeah. Oh, lucky. That's awesome.
Underwater sniping can be a truly addicting thing. Not only does gold look nice underwater, but the heavier gold runs generally lie in the lowest points in the center of a creek. But one shouldn't get too excited. Here in BC, it's basically a pan and a shovel, or looking along the bottom of a creek on a bedrock zone. I mainly just sample the creeks in an area to get an idea of the gold and the minerals around. My mining projects are off in the bush, but I still enjoy spending a sunny day up in the canyon. And a little bit of gold sure don't hurt.
Well, it's always nice when you can hear it. Oh, we'll have a little snack here. We'll see what we got for our effort. See, I always enjoy hiking in the canyon along the creeks and that anyway. A little gold just makes it a little nicer. But yeah, we'll get back to digging sample holes though. See, the guy can't mine the creeks, so I can mine off into the bush here. So I'm better off to spend my time looking for the gold in the hills versus the creeks. Balance that out. Got 2.6 ounces. Well, it was a fun day. It's always nice to find a little bit of gold, especially when it's little pickers. Yeah. I can't eat gold, so I'm gonna have my coffee here. And go back in the bush and go pick some thimbleberries and make myself some oatmeal for dinner. Probably another reason why Josh bailed on me. Ate all the goodies. He knew that oatmeal was going to be coming out. Boy, I tell you that Josh doesn't know what he's missing. I even brought some brown sugar out this time for the guy. Figured he'd like that. Getting a little fancy for me. Just need a little butter and cream, just like at home. Not as healthy though. Yeah. Oats sure fill you up though, they're good for you. Brown sugar ain't, but these thimbleberries are. Eating like a king tonight. Yeah, with them thimbleberries in there, you don't even miss the butter and the cream. A little bit of brown sugar just makes it perfect. I'm set for the month.
Well, me and Brutus wake up early. We're heading out to go grab Josh. He made a deal with me if he didn't have to go in the canyon, that he'd help me with a sample hole. So, we're gonna put him to work. I would have thought walking along the creek, picking up gold, would be a lot easier and funner than this. As much as I like sitting along the creek, daydreaming and picking up gold, the real money's to be had out here in the woods, finding these old channels of gold. Until the day we have an excavator out here, this is just the way it has to be done. This isn't even the worst part. The roots are yet to come.
Well, I guess I should get the site cleaned up. Expose them river gravels underneath.
Well, that sounded really believable, so we work hard through the rest of the day. I was hoping this spot didn't have very many roots, but unfortunately, it took better part of the day. We finally get through the roots and begin to find some large rock and a bit of river gravel.
This is a hot one today. Thank goodness I decided to do my sample hole here in the forest, on the shady side. I don't mean it ain't hot. Just a few swings on that pickaxe and get pretty heated.
Getting through the roots is like opening a door to the past, where the old river used to run.
Well, we just started hitting the old river here. At least we're hoping that's what it is. Yeah, big boulder here, so I'm going to pull a sample pan from underneath it, take it down to the creek, pan it off and see if we can find any color. Starting to get late now, so we'll pull this quick pan here and then we'll get up to camp, get a fire going. Well, it looks like all the right material. Recognize all the rock. Now let's see if there's any gold in there.
I can't think of anything better in prospecting than opening up a new site and finding the first traces of gold.
Well, good news, we found three little pieces. So we're definitely on the gold channel.
Before we head to camp, I'm going to grab a bucket of gravel to do a little panning, which was proving up some pretty nice golds. It's always a good day when you can open up a new site and expose an old river and find a trace of gold. Not that our camp squirrel really cares. I never really brought out a whole lot of junk food for Josh, but with the sun setting, I did bring him a little treat.
Let's use your dirty pocket knife. It's all good. We'll have to let them cool down first, Ruby. Good?
It's the simple things in life that are best. Just ask Brutus. We're up early this morning and at it right away. And Joshua, he's up to his usual schemes. He knows I won't leave without a proper sample, and he's already trying to cut me deals. Seems just like the old days, always bartering and making deals with this young fella. Washing mostly the slide material and loose materials up against the old virgin channel. which was still proving some pretty nice golds.
Yeah, it's good to start seeing some nice large rock again. Pretty nice rusty material, so I don't have too high hopes for the upper section, but should be interesting when we get down below.
By looking at this channel, I already know somewhere within there's going to be some nice golds. We washed gravel through the rest of the day and cut into this old river and dropped our way down.
Well, we must be getting close to the bottom now. Large flat rocks wedged right in there. You can see we're starting to get a bit of water coming back from our settling pond, which I was totally expecting. But at least we should be close to the bottom. Like I said, if that water's starting to come through, the bottom should be just underneath these rocks here. Here's hoping anyway. It was a little bit of a tough dig, prying everything out of there. Yeah, it's definitely a gold-bearing channel. It's definitely the old river stuck underneath this hillside.
Well, we managed to open up a pretty nice door into the past. We'll take these concentrates down to the creek and pan them out, see what we got.
The ugly run, that's looking pretty good. For that much fine gold to be in that sandy silt. I'm kind of interested to see what's going to be down below. Could hold a nice little gold deposit in there. Yeah, I know Joshy there don't really care for this small gold. I like the big golds too, but when you're sampling, you got to look at it all and take it for what it's worth. If it ain't worth gold, it's definitely worth information.
Well, that was a good day's work. It's time for us to think about dinner and head off into the woods.
It's gonna go good with my oatmeal.
Till next time, take care out there.
He's a man of the backcountry wild. He's a man with a backcountry style. Searching for treasure yet untold. Up and down the creeks for his gold. And it's mine or bust. Mine or bust. Mine or bust. Because it's in his blood and that's what a miner does. Just like the gold rushers of old, who live and died for their gold. With picks, packs, shovels, rifles in hand, up and down the creeks in the backcountry land. It's mine or bust, mine or bust, mine or bust, because it's in his blood and that's what a miner does.